Why, hello everyone, and welcome to a new casted game of Age of Mythology Retold. Over here on the right hand side of the map we have JohnArbiter playing as Poseidon in the blue, here on the Steppes map versus Saturatedopfat over here on the left in the red playing as Set. Should be an interesting one. Our JohnArbiter I know is a very high ranking player in the AoM community. I have not interacted with him too much myself, but I've heard him mentioned quite a bit by others like Boyts, but we'll see how this particular matchup goes. For the relics we have a wall HP increase relic. Could be useful depending if players go for the walls or not. We have the Chariot of Cybele with the pair of lions, always a good one for that extra couple units or scouting. Got a Pataz Scepter for a farm cost reduction, 25% off. That's very useful. And finally, we have the Feather of Baifang with, oh, this is a nice one. Human soldiers do more damage to buildings. That's a good one, especially in this meta with how strong buildings are. This could be a big one if either player manages to get it. That's a 1.2 modifier to buildings. Alright, so both players are moving out onto the map. It looks like... oh, the set player already has his monkey going around trying to get all those goats. Is his priest out on the map? I don't see it. I think his priest is still in the base. Is it? Am I blind? Where is their priest? Let me swap over to their perspective. Oh, I was blind. Here's the priest. Over here trying to get one of these elephants. These are a huge amount of food. 900 food each for each elephant. That's a huge food supply if Saturatedopfat is able to grab it. I think I'll just call him Sat. I'll just call him Sat from now on, because saying Saturatedopfat every time is a little bit too much, as he just tries to wallowle the elephant into submission. Alright. Both players moving forward, trying to get their age up going. I'm not sure... let's see here. Oh, it does look like Sat is going for the age up first, with his temple already being dropped. Getting a nice little wall of houses here just to protect this gold mine. Getting all these free houses in, definitely a good move, especially versus Poseidon with all those cavalry that can be running in. Does look like John is dropping his temple as well. Does look like he'll get up a little bit faster. But the Poseidon player does seem to have the most food at the moment, so I think John will be getting to that age up first. Sat did get the Elephant of Set going, so he's got it's only 675 versus that 900, but that's still a lot of food right there. Plenty of resources. Sat is not going to be wanting for food for quite some time, I think. Were they able to get all the sheep? 15 sheep. That's a huge amount. Versus, how many has John managed to get? Only 4 goats. Not sheep, goats. Well, 6 now. Trail's trying to get that second one there, and yep, there goes John with aging up to Hermes. Yeah, yep, you see that Hermes in there? That's pretty typical for Poseidon. It's very useful for the... what's it called? Centaur and Ceasefire. Both really strong when paired with the Hippias. And here goes Sat with Anubis. Okay. Gonna be more focused on the Anubites and the monuments. It's definitely a good one. They're gonna get the what's it called? The Serpent's God power as well as Anubites for that raiding. There goes John aging up, getting the Centaur out into the field. Probably gonna move forward, trying to do a bit of harassment. Sat has gotten his Elephant of Set, second Elephant of Set down, so he's got a huge amount of food right here once these zebra run out. Meanwhile, John, he does also have a way to get the food in there with this lure. He's got brought in all these monkeys, chickens along here, as well as the gazelle and the zebra, so he's not going to be hungry for a little while either. Both players moving forward, trying to see if there's any opportunities. Here comes the Anubite of Set. First vision dropped. Where did it go to? There we go. With this god power, the Sat player is Saturated is able to see all of this. He's able to see that. Oh, yep. And there goes JohnArbiter over here to this second TC location. So it's just very clearly able to see that. Is he going to try to contest it? Where's he trying to go to? He is going to try to contest it. Will he be able to, though? I don't think he's going to get there in time. Well, maybe? It's going to be close. Got a few more villagers going forward. 42, 37, 33 seconds. 30 seconds. I don't know if these two Anubites will be able to do anything, especially not with this Atalanta and the Centaur there. Baboon of Seth trying to lure the Atalanta away. Does seem to have succeeded, but I don't think these Anubites will be able to find any success in stopping this settlement. And it does seem like Saturated has realized that. He's moving in instead to harass the food villagers, but Theseus is here. He's going to be able to drive this away. Oh, he's going to get that. Come on, he's right there. It's just one. Oh, that is so unlucky for Saturated. No villager kills. Lots of idle time, but no villager kills whatsoever. He just wasn't able to get those last couple final blows on there. Uh-oh. Bit of mismicro from Saturated. This Anubite is really low. 5 speed. He will be able to get it away, I think. He'll be able to run away just in time. This Anubite might not be able to, though, as Atalanta has 5.6 speed versus this Anubite's only 5. It's going to be a close one. I don't think that one is going to be able to make it away. Saturated does have this forward TC location, so he's going to be able to hold here. Will the Anubite be able to make it? That's the main question. It does look like he's going to try. But bit of his microwave moves away trying to escape. Bit of a melee here as the elephants are all kind of fighting in the middle, trying to do some damage to these heroes, but not much being able to be done. The Centaur also around the edges. Well, John is actually going for farms pretty early here. He's still got lots of food here and plenty more food up here with these giraffes. I guess he doesn't want to risk the Anubite raids. He's just going to go straight for farms. That's an interesting one. Then over here, I just realized these two are flipped. There we go. Now we have the right color on the right side. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, Saturated is starting to build up some barracks. Has anyone managed to grab any relics at this point? It does look like, yep, John has gotten the Feather of Bifang, so he's going to have that extra damage versus buildings. And he's starting to now get his stables up for those Hippias. It's interesting. I think someone was starting to go for a relic. Where is it? There's a relic symbol right here on the map, but I don't see it here. Bit of a glitch there, I think. Alright, both players licking their wounds after that small engagement. It does look like Saturated is going to be the one to move forward to try and get a bit more damage done first. Or at least take some more space with these Anubites. No? Kind of seems like both players are just sort of circling each other, actually. Just trying to see what they want to do. Both in pretty good states, though John does have a slight villager advantage because he got that second TC up just that little bit faster. Like 3 to 4 villagers. It's going to make a big difference, especially considering how weak the Egypt economy can be without that pharaoh empowerment. Doing a bit of scouting with the spearmen, trying to see what's happening in the main base. What's it going to see? Not too much. A little bit of poke onto these onto the wall, just trying to draw something out in case John has something. Does spot the Hippias. And now he sees the 2 centaurs right there. I think these 3 spearmen might be not able to survive from here, as Saturated is taking advantage of the distraction from the spearmen to move in and try and do some damage onto this villager gold mine. Here we go. He's trying to get at least 1 villager kill in. I think he's going to be able to. 1 down. 2 down. 2 villagers are down. The Atalanta is in here, though, so he might have bitten off a bit more than he could afford. As this Anubite is almost certainly going to be lost from that engagement. He's trying to do a bit more of harassment onto this Hippias, as Hippias draws it back into the TC firing range. Deciding to go for that villager instead. Spearmen coming back around to rescue their Anubite buddy. It does look like they're going to be able to, as these do have the Serpent Spear. This adds a decent amount of damage to the attacks. It adds bleed onto the Atalanta here, which bypasses all of the armor. That's going to be a pretty big harassment tool. Straight onto the food line too. Oh, he's going to be able to get some. It looks like this one might die after it goes in. Maybe? They got 1 villager down and the Atalanta, but that looks like it's going to be all they're going to be able to get for the time being. as this Anubite is trying to... What he's doing here is actually quite good. It's basically killing these giraffes away from the granary just to be safe. In case John manages to go forward and take out this area, they're going to be able to have a less than ideal situation as that Anubite just dives straight into its death. Oh, that's probably a little bit of a... that must have hurt for Saturated, as that Anubite stood no chance against these 7 Hippias and 3 Centaurs, and on top of the Theseus and Atalanta. Saturated, though, does have a pretty big army of spearmen at this point. They've got the copper medium spearmen in there, plus the serpent spears. That's going to deal quite a bit of poison damage over time. John has dropped his watchtower, so his food line over here is going to be a little bit more protected. So the main combat does seem like it's going to be up here in this northern section by the second TC, as the Serpent God power is dropped. Plague of Serpents, just to do a bit of harassment, deal a little bit of extra damage, keep the army busy while they take down the wall. Priests in here to heal up their spearmen, trying to keep them alive. Priests trying to move forward, trying to get in range of those. Trying to just kind of get in range of the centaurs, but they just don't have enough range there. A little bit of a misplay from John, I think, as he just sent those Hippias straight into these spearmen. That's a lot of damage against them. At 7.5 without 1.5 multiplier against those Hippias. It's not great for John's cavalry army, but he does have a lot of centaurs at this point. Those have some pretty hefty AoE attacks. We'll see if he's able to take any of them down with these priests and Anubites, but that Anubite does look like it went on the other side of the wall. That's really unfortunate, as it just goes down to those centaurs. These centaurs aren't heroes, but they do have a 2x damage multiplier versus other myth units. And with 4 of them, that's quite a bit of damage right there. Saturated is looking to take more of the map with putting walls up, trying to block off this whole southern section with these gold mine here. Another gold mine over here. Plenty of food in this area as well. So, and he's dropping a market, trying to get that early gold, maybe just trying to balance out his economy. It's definitely a power move from the set player here. Taking up all this area as these priests are in, healing up his army, getting those in there, as it does look like John has decided to, both players actually have decided to age up to heroic, with Set going for the saturated player going for Nephthys, which will be very useful against those with pharaohs and priests, adding Scorpion Men as well. That's going to be quite powerful in the melee of an army. Whereas JohnArbiter is going for Dionysus, with more focus on those cavalry, and most importantly, it's going to get the bronze power. That's going to be a huge game. That's going to be a huge fight, a huge turning point with any battle, especially if he manages to get in a good engagement. Bit more harassment from Saturated as he takes down the wooden gate, moving in, just trying to force John to keep his resources up here. With that wall gone, he no longer has that protection on that gold mine. And it does look like he has realized that, John has realized it, because his gold villagers are moving back just to get this last little bit of gold right here. He doesn't have a lot of more gold available. He was relying on this one 6,000 gold mine just to stay intact and stay alive. But there goes the age up for both players, as Set has ancestors ready. That's a small army ready to go. And John has the bronze, which will basically beef up all of his units to have mega armor with his whenever he needs to. All right, we've got both players are starting to eye each other up, looking for a chance to go in. Saturated does have a huge amount of map vision, though. As you can see, he sees all of this. He sees his army with these obelisks ready to go. Trying to see where they want to engage. It looks like John is trying to poke a little bit, taking out these obelisks. Saturated doesn't seem to be quite ready yet to move in. Wary of that bronze, no doubt. Upgraded centaurs are in. John is definitely going for a lot of economic upgrades here. He's got his axe, pickaxe, farm implements. He's going for the second farm implement and the shaft mine. Set is also going for shaft mine and hand axe. He's not gone for farms yet, so that's a major difference. Oh, here we go. Major engagement as Saturated is moving into the main base. Looks like he wants to take this fight here. These heavy spearmen are in, but that's under the town center. That's a huge amount of damage, and these centaurs are going to be dealing huge pierce damage from that distance as he's trying to take out this army. move in, take out these Hippias as best as he can. Heavy Hippias, but his heavy cavalry doesn't look like John's confident in his ability to win, and he drops the ceasefire. That's a big win for Saturated, as he no longer has to worry about that god power being in play. It's one of the big mind games you have to play whenever you play Age of Mythology. Trying to just mind game your opponents using their big god powers early or in a situation where they're not ideal. It does look like John is preparing for a situation where he does not have access to his gold. As he has already dropped a market and is ready to start selling whenever he needs to. What are the rates with the market already? That's not too terrible. Food has been done a little bit, but it's not too horrific in this case. A second vision has been dropped. What is he looking at? He's just searching this whole upper area, just keeping an eye just to see if John is going to go for that second gold mine up there. Pretty smart decision by Saturated, just keeping an eye, making sure he's gold starving as much as he can. In the meantime, Saturated is doing a bit of a wall creep here on this southern side, getting these walls up with that siege works, trying to just do a little bit of poke into the main base buildings, just keep John on his toes and force him to stay in this upper section with all of his farms. A lot of upgrades coming in as chariots, archers are starting to make their appearance on the field through this mid goal. He's got his Pharaoh empowering it, getting that training time down to a very little, actually. What is the train time with this now? With that Pharaoh in there. Can I see? Can I not see that? I can't see how long the training time is. That's disappointing. And now he's got chariot archers in the field. These are one of Egypt's best units in terms of the mid to late game, as they have a large amount of range, do quite a bit of pierce damage, and are very fast on top of that. It's quite a useful combination as bronze is dropped and Saturated realizes he has to pull back. He's trying to get a little bit of damage in there, but some of his myth units just cannot survive. Not through this. John's trying to push back, trying to give himself more space as he has moved his gold villagers up onto that gold mine, trying to get as much as he can before he's forced to retreat back to just using the market for his gold. That's his only gold mine available. He's trying to use the bronze as much as he can, trying to get as much damage in as possible through this wall right here. And now the chariot archers could start peppering away if they really wanted to. Looks like they're going to. They're going to start doing a little bit of extra damage in there. As bronze has stopped, as ended now. Moving forward, Saturated has queued up Thoth, which is going to be, I believe that one has the tornado. That could be a huge thing to break through this defense here, as John is really bunkering down, trying to maintain control of this gold mine with a fortress being dropped. Siegeworks is almost up in the south. He's probably going to pop out a couple catapults, maybe just one, just to harass this area. He definitely saw the fortress, he just has not decided to move in just yet to do a huge amount of damage into it. Fortress is down. John now has a bit more confidence in keeping this gold mine secure. Meanwhile, Saturated all the gold he could ever want. He's already on this gold mine. Got this one over here as well. He's just mining all the gold on the map. Got this one up here as well. There's only 2 gold mines he's not currently mining. These 2 right here. And to get them, John's going to have to push out of his fortified location to try to break through this army that Set has against him. It's going to be an interesting one as the Age Up to the Mythic through Thoth has begun. He's already queued up his Mythic Age economic text for when that final Age Up happens, as he's moving in and trying to get a little bit more damage. John has these Hephaestus. These are very potent versus the Spearmen, and it doesn't look like it's a bit too much for the Spearman army, as these Hephaestus are just able to melt through those Spearmen, and without them, the Chariot Archers are just a little bit too vulnerable to stay too long. They have to pull back, trying to take advantage of their range over against the Hephaestus, as John has decided to. He's pushed a bit too deep, and he's pulling back a little bit, trying to meet up with his reinforcements. Down here in the south, it does look like he's starting to do a little bit more here, although that villager looks like it got driven back by the tower, so nothing quite happening there yet. Just a little bit of back and forth as John is trying his best to catch up with these chariot archers. That's the issue here. He really needs to get his archers out and get some Peltas. That's the best answer that Greek has versus these chariot archers at the moment. There we go. Oh, Thoth has the meteor. Here we go. Meteor's dropped. Oh, huge hit onto those villagers as... Oh! Ouch, this has to hurt versus the villager economy, as those meteors just hit straight onto that gold mine. He tried to garrison them, but it was just too late, as he's lost most of his gold villagers at that point. He's dropped down to 70 total villagers, and that fortress is gone. That gold mine is no longer safe. Phoenix is out, coming as well. But John's army is moving in, trying to clean up these chariot archers, trying to do something here. Excuse me. This is definitely going to be a close one, I think. But I think John has the edge with the units he has, as that Phoenix falls pretty quickly to the Greek heroes. And, yep, John is managing to push back Saturated. Going to be able to maintain control of his gold mine for now. This gold mine has been the key linchpin of this entire match, as John has been fighting tooth and nail trying to maintain control. This is a really tough one for John, though, because he's stuck where he's at. He's starting to age up through Hephaestus. That'll help a little bit with his gold starved situation, but I don't know if it'll be enough. He lost a huge amount of resources here, and you can tell by the score that Saturated is just really far ahead in military and economy, as Saturated's got max villagers, whereas John, after that fight, lost quite a few. Saturated moving forward with his champion chariot archers, trying to do some damage, as some catapults are starting to make their way into the field. Where are they coming out from? Ah, right here. Here we go. 2 catapults in, trying to do some damage to these stables in the front, as John finally decided to do something about this little station down here, and is starting to break down the wall a little bit with his villagers. I don't know if that's the best move personally, but he decided just to do a little bit in there, as John's army is being pushed back into his base. First catapult is out. As John's trying to make the best use as he can of his cavalry to take out these chariot archers. It is kind of working, but there goes the Mythic Age for John, as the Plenty Vault is cast down in the center of his base. This is worth like 4 villagers at a time on gold, I believe. Let me see how much he's getting from these. Yeah, about 4 villagers on gold with this max tax. Catapult is in, starting to do some damage onto these buildings. These catapults do a huge amount of damage per volley. Now it's just a matter of breaking down these final defenses from John, as Saturated is moving in, and John is forced to drop a second ceasefire. That was a huge amount of favors to do. I think it's like 75 or something like that. And now he's got 20 seconds to regroup and try and make something happen with this Prometheus. This Prometheus is quite potent for the Poseidon player. It has a huge amount of damage, and it has an area of effect as well with its special. It might be enough to turn the tide, but we'll see. At this point, Saturated, though, has just so much working for him. He's got a 3rd TC in the back here, so he's got a little bit more population available. Max upgrades already on his spearmen, looks like, with, yep, bronze, not quite iron, so not quite as high as he possibly could go, but definitely very high up there in the range of things. As his catapults are moving in, trying to do some damage onto this area, and John has lost his gold mine, but he has moved forward to try and take this one up here. Saturated has spotted it, as he was also starting to go for it, and this is John's gonna have to fight tooth and nail to keep this one, as Saturated knows he's there. He knows this is the last gold mine he has available. He's gonna have to resort to trade in the marketplace, or if he's unable to keep control of this area. He's starting to move his Paspis and some of his militia in there, as it does look like John is able to take advantage of the situation to get control of the center of the map. John is pushing Saturated's armies back. Saturated does have an army here. He has dropped his ancestors up here just to harass this gold mine right now. It is very potent versus these villagers, as these minions are very strong. Doesn't have Eclipse, but they are still strong on their own, as multiple villagers starting to drop, and John is forced off that gold mine. He's got no gold income apart from the Plenty Vault, and that's going to hurt him hard with this. Meanwhile, with the distraction, Saturated is pushing forward, as John was forced to bring some of his units up there to defend his gold mine, but that leaves the center wide open, as Saturated is able to move in, pushing John all the way back to his second TC, and it looks like Saturated moving up, maybe? Trying to take out this gold mine once and for all. That is his last gold mine, and Saturated knows it. He smells blood in the water. Here we go. Big engagement coming in, it seems like, as the Spearmen, yep, there go the Spearmen all the way up to those villagers, trying to take this down. Trying to drop a fortress down just to protect that gold mine as best he can. But with catapults in play, that's not going to last very long. We'll see how long he's able to keep it up once his catapults come out. John is moving in, trying to get those Kithias onto the chariot archers. That is the move to make. As, oh no, the Spearmen got onto the villager line. Villagers are dropping like flies. That fortress is not going to go up. John's entire gold economy is just gone at this point. He has no more units he can produce. He's not producing any military units as his army is dropping. Yes, Saturated is as well, but he's got a huge queue. He's got so much in the bank. He's got all the resources he could ever want in the world. And John's being forced to fall back. It looks like he traded in some resources to get that going. As, yeah, it looks like the sell value for resources has plummeted. Only 24 gold for 100 wood. This is not good for John whatsoever. He's got basically no gold income to speak of whatsoever. He's almost entirely on food. Decent amount of favor. He might be trying to go for the second plenty vault. It looks like that's what he's trying to do, as that is his only option for a steady food income. But because of that, he has no army to speak of. And Saturated is just able to push in and make whatever he wants, really. He's able to push in. He's even grabbing that forward TC. Just tie this area down and make sure that John cannot make it in whatsoever. Saturated has not yet gotten fortified town centers. He's starting to now, but that's going to be an issue for him as he's been losing out on that population space. Pretty big engagement happening right in the center as John was able to sell enough to be able to get what he needed. He's trying to hold out as long as he can to get that second plenty vault. A couple chariot archers into the farm line, just harassing and taking out some villagers as best he can. Another mid-gold stronghold coming up into the front just to help protect this position. He's got 2 mid-golds already. Has he gotten the advanced fortifications? He has, so these are doing huge damage with 68 pierce damage a second. As that second mid-gold stronghold does look like it will manage to go up, and that will really fortify this location. John's is being backed into a corner over and over again, as there goes the second plenty vault. Now 8 villagers on gold equivalent. Might have enough to be able to make something happen here. It's going to be tough, though, as Saturated's just been able to pin him in really well. Oh, and John's trying to get that second, get a bit more gold up here in the north, as he's just trying to get a little bit on there, even trying to break down maybe his mistake with that one villager on that wood. I don't think there's anything up here he wants. I think it's just a little bit of a miss micro, but these chariot archers are going to move in and take out these villagers. I don't think that was the right play from John. He was trying to get that gold, but just wasn't enough, as villagers are dropping there. As in the south, Saturated is moving into the main base. He's started to take down the town center. These plenty vaults will be at risk if those fall. John has nothing left whatsoever. He's lost his upper gold mine, looks like. He's only got a couple villagers left on there. And in the center, it looks like that town center is falling. These war elephants are here to do a huge amount of damage. I don't think he has much he can do. These militia do have 1.5 damage versus cavalry, so that'll help. But we don't know if it'll be enough, as it does look like Saturated is trying to move in. He'll have to eliminate all of these buildings around the plenty vaults to capture them. John's army is coming back, trying to drive out Saturated from his main base, but the score differential, the resources, just, it's so heavily weighted in Saturated's favor. I don't know how John can come back from this. He's relying almost entirely on militia for his army. This thing is bugged right here. I do not think Saturated has 6,000 military population. There's no way that's the case. Bit of a glitch there, as some elements are moving forward to take out this upper town center. Podromos are on the field to help deal with these elephants. Starting to trade, but this trade's going to be next to nothing, and the town center is going to go down soon. John is just desperate for gold, and there goes the town center. There's no gold left. He's only got 3 villages up here on the gold mine, and elephants and chariot archers are here just to get rid of them. John has no resources left in the bank. I don't know how he can continue through this. I think he's just gonna have to call it here. He's stubbornly hanging on, trying to make something work, but I just don't see a way for the Poseidon to make it out of this position. Realistically, all that John has is a couple on food and some on wood, but that's it. Still praying. He's relying on these plenty balls. That is helping, despite his economic disadvantage, but Saturated is just fortified way too much. He's got mid-goals up in the front. He's got walls going down. John has just no room to maneuver. Does get that second town center back up, so he now has at least one. He's trying to get this gold mine up, but Saturated has already started fortifying. He's got a mid-gold stronghold coming in. Elephants are in position. The laborers for the Egypt player are trying to fortify this area, but it looks like John may be able to push them out for a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Oh, but Saturated is putting down town center on top of John's central town center location, and he finally gives up. This is too much pressure from too many sides. John has no gold left. There's just nothing he could do. Well, it was a good try from John. He tried, but just wasn't able to quite make it through, as Saturated owns all of the map. Just look at all this red everywhere. Tough match for John. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this game of Age of Mythology Retold. If you did, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below if you'd like to see more. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!